Welcome back to another episode of the Total-MLS Roundtable. Week 1 is in the books. I am Dustin Richardson, de facto host of this show when Tyler lets me and doesn't take over. Tyler is the producer. He calls himself that.
I'm the producer, Tyler. Nice to see you guys.
And I'll let the other guys introduce themselves. We have Philip here, and Mike, and Matt. That was me letting them introduce themselves.
I'll let you introduce yourselves. Let me finish first.
Well, the whole point of the host.
When you make yourself host, you can do what you want, okay? And Austin's somewhere floating around. There he is.
He's in the ether. Oh, here he comes.
Here he comes, making a grand entrance as the show begins. There he is. Austin's in the house.
Did he come in pointing?
Yes.
He blesses the rains of
great.
Africa. It's beautiful.
He came in posing as only he could.
Never ready.
All right, so let's just get right into this Week 1 action. We'll start with Friday night, the SAP gate. Everyone was so excited that we could watch Spanish language game with the SAP button. I don't know about you guys. Did not work on mine. Did anyone get it to work?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
it works
nothing.
on DirecTV. I don't know who else had problems with.
I
Yeah,
have a generic Comcast box, and mine worked, but
Yeah, DirecTV, you can make it automatic that it goes to English. So
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
I was watching on the iPad app, and I got no sound whatsoever the whole game. So
Sometimes
that was
that's
a lot
good,
of
too.
fun. Yeah.
I feel like DirecTV is pretty well set up for all MLS things.
for some reason I still feel like Matt wins there.
Yeah, he got no sound.
No Landon in Spanish, which I'm comfortable with.
Spanish Landon was pretty impressive, though.
That was amazing.
You
It
have
was
to say,
weird.
Tyler. Tyler loved Landon, so
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
he's not going to give him enough credit.
No, he doesn't. But it was cool that he was speaking Spanish. I thought that was weird because at first I thought it had like reverse SAP, so it was like translating. And then I realized it was actually him talking. I was like, wait, what? And then I just saw his tie and was disappointed. But still, and I digress.
He went from Spanish to English in the same weekend. He did the Fox Studio.
It's weird. He was less enthusiastic in English. It makes no sense.
I saw
I don't get him.
Marcelo Balboa did the same thing.
Yeah.
He was on the Spanish, and then he
You
went
gotta
to
add
the
a little bit of
Rapids.
flamboyance to the Spanish language, I guess.
Sure, whatever. So
I only heard Spanish language, I guess. What was that?
he added flair to the Spanish language.
Oh, yeah.
So
Or he
that's-
said at the end of the day in Spanish every 15 seconds. One of the two. I don't know.
he had to go to his crutch words. You know how it is. All right, so the game itself, Chicago looked about as crappy as a team could look for most of the game.
Hey, who's the Chicago correspondent?
They're currently open right now.
Oh, okay.
So
Um,
if you'd
Reason
like,
for that.
if you'd like to write about that mess up there, then by all means, shoot us an email. But
way to sell it there, Dustin. More drivel and for that shitty club. Come, please.
He's
Right
really
for
selling this, isn't he?
if you'd like someone to help you with writing about garbage teams, you can talk to Tyler. He managed to bang out a season preview of the Rapids, so
Yeah, it was embarrassing.
it was
Terrible.
possible. As for the game itself, back to the game. It was the Fire looked like crap, but it was 0-0 into the second half, and I saw people on Twitter start saying, "Oh, Chicago's going to nick one against the run of play and win this," but that didn't happen.
It was looking like it might happen, but
Yeah, it had the makings.
hopeful. It was just
It had the makings of it, and then Villarreal scored, and then Robbie Keane scored and told everyone to F off. Which
that
was
was
probably
that
the
was
highlight. That was probably the highlight of the night.
It's all about
Probably the
Lorenowitz.
jip of the year by the end of the year.
All about Lorenowitz, baby. All about it. I don't know if it's not said.
I'm kind
I'm
of
not
not
sure-
surprised, or I'm kind of surprised he didn't get a fine for that.
Well,
He was clearly.
yeah, people keep acting like he's gonna get fined, or people even saying suspension. Yeah, no chance.
I mean, I'm not saying he should, but I feel like MLS would do that sort of thing.
If it was Henri, Henri would have gotten fined and suspended. You know that Keane they hold Keane and they held Beckham to different standards than they did Henri. Some of their big name players. Kaká does that. Kaká doesn't get fined or suspended either. David Villa, he might.
Kane's the MVP. He has the leeway.
And besides, does it even matter if they fine him? How much are they gonna fine him? $500?
Right.
No,
Yeah.
I mean it doesn't. But I guess I'm just kind of surprised by it.
Suspending him for a game could hurt LA, but
It's very
we're not going to do that.
Pro Rel is more likely than that.
I don't think they're going to ruin the future Decade Player Award, Robbie Keane's award, his name by suspending him. I don't think that's going to happen.
They're also not suspending. They're also not suspending him because LA is the Sunday night game on Fox. So
Yeah.
There you go.
he ain't missing that. Maybe if they played Saturday at 2:00 or something on local TV, but you're not suspending the MVP of the league for a national TV game.
For doing this
Yeah.
or whatever. the
Well,
hell.
he had some words with it.
Yeah.
Does anybody here really have a problem with what he did?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, if you've ever seen him play, he's an emotional guy, and he gets caught up in the game. It's not like he kicked somebody or did it to someone, like in someone's face. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, but what was it, like 2 years ago or 3 years ago when Rooney got suspended for 3 games for yelling "F yeah" after scoring that goal? So, it's just like...
That's how the FA rolls.
I'll see what
That's true.
Costigan said. A former teammate told me Keane could pick a fight alone in a telephone box.
Yeah, sounds like Kane. He is Irish after all. All right, so LA, they looked about as good as I think everyone thought they would once they decided to turn it on the last 30 minutes or so. They probably could have made it 3 or 4, but managed to walk out 2-0. So that brings us to Saturday's exciting action. I think only one game saw multiple goals, which was
Wasn't mine.
a little depressing.
Yeah.
So it started off with the 2 Champions League teams, DC and Montreal. The big news that came out of that game, if you just see them on Twitter, the Impact has posted Justin Mapp's going to be out for about 4 months after he fractured and dislocated his elbow, which looked very nasty. If you have the GIF or the video, don't send it to me. I don't want to see it. I saw Bill Hamid's reaction to it, which was all you needed to see.
Yeah.
He kind of freaked out and then just waved for the trainers. He knew it was bad.
Waved. He did this. He was like, oh, God. I thought he was like fanning himself at the same time as calling people over.
He did. Please, someone get over here. This man's bone is sticking out.
What would have kept it off if he had thrown up from just the reaction of seeing it?
Oh my God.
Some people have that kind of reaction. It would have been really funny if Bill Hamid is one of them.
I mean, it right in the box too, right in the 6-yard box. No one would have wanted to come near.
They put sawdust down.
It's a good tactic.
It is a decent defensive tactic. But yeah, they did. DC won 1-0. Arrieta scored. They bounced back from their Champions League knockout. Managed to get the win.
Now, I think the question is, does Montreal, are they able to stay in it long enough without losing Map? I mean, Map's a big piece for them. I know Austin had them in the playoffs. Do they do they stay in it that long? I mean, he'll be back, end of July, August around? That's kind of long.
Yeah.
They could still make a run.
It's a while. It's tough to say. I mean, they do have. I just tweeted. They do have Romero, and he's coming back, and he was pretty good last year. If that's enough, I don't know, because Map is a huge part of their team. He might as well be a DP.
I mean, besides Devaya, who's their best player last year?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Matt Jackson.
the East isn't that strong, which probably helps
Right.
them.
Right. Yeah.
They can, I mean, even if they can just kind of tread water and pick up some draws, occasional win or two.
There's 6 spots. I mean,
Well, how many times do they play
Yeah,
Chicago?
six out of 10. Yeah, they get
I like
Chicago
those
in there.
odds.
They play them at least 3 times. I don't know when they do play them, but yeah, they're gonna have to kind of stay afloat and see. We might see the rookie sensation Porter get some more playing time now. Although he's more of a forward, I think. Oh, they have Chicago at home on April 18th. So there you go. Montreal does. Oh, and they go to Chicago on May 30th. They have them twice during Map's injury.
Please tell me that is not a nationally televised game.
I don't think it is. No,
Oh god, really?
it doesn't look like it. Montreal, Chicago, MLS Live. And Montreal, Chicago, MLS Live. Yeah.
There you go.
I'll be sure to tune in.
Someone will be watching.
If
Oh,
you
and
were right
we
about
play
that
Chicago.
game,
Oh, Montreal's the other team that we don't have a writer for. So if you're catching a trend,
Well, if one of them somehow wins the MLS title belt, I guess I will be watching, but that'd be the only reason.
they're not beating LA. They only play them once.
Yeah.
They're in the other conference. Yeah, that ain't happening. Unless it's like midweek and Bruce just sends the scrubs to Montreal or half the Galaxy lose their passports. You can't
Maybe
make it.
maybe Bruce thinks it's an Open Cup game or something like that.
Against-
In Montreal.
Against the Canadian team, yeah.
Yeah, Bruce wouldn't do that for a title belt match, no.
He knows. He understands.
Yeah.
He understands what's behind it. All right, so next up, as two of you probably watched with great intrigue,
oh yeah.
the great 0-0 draw between powerhouses, Philadelphia and Colorado.
Hell of a game.
Riveting television. I managed to watch the second half of it. I was
Riveting for whom?
well.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Connor Casey came in and nearly scored late. Was denied by,
Yeah.
I guess, man of the match, Clint Irwin. Tyler,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would say so.
is he going to start now? With McMath was unavailable because he
Yeah.
was on loan from Philadelphia, so he
I mean,
couldn't play against his parent team.
Shameless plug. If you read my preview, you'd know how I feel about this. But at the same time, no, I think Irwin's going to start until he can't, and then McMath will steal it, and then he can't, and then Irwin will steal it back. It's
Accurate.
So basically, they won't have to decide again.
Is Stuart Seuss still there?
no. Say's.
Jump in? Say's? Oh, that guy was.
I think Say's plays in NASL or USL Pro now.
That guy was something. That goal he gave up last year, opening day, where he came out like 30 yards.
Yeah,
it was-
I know.
I think it
Against Dallas. It was against Dallas, and I wanted to cry. Because that's the day that I lost my first ever C38 scarf, their first ever scarf, the paddle one. I bet it. Yeah, that was smart.
And then your goalkeeper goes and does that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Well, fortunately, you didn't have anything bet on this game because I don't know. You guys had like nothing going forward, Tyler.
No, yeah, it was all just clearances, just literally all clearances.
Just kick the ball.
Just knock it the fuck out and start over. It'll be fun.
What was it? Two shots total and none on goal. I think.
Yeah, 2 shots overall, none on goal, and I think there were 59 or 60 clearances,
Yeah.
which is an insane number. But I think RSL was the top this week, by the way, which is weird.
I think I was doing some research for ourselves, and they did like 64.
Yeah, it's just crazy numbers for clearances.
So we got more of that business next week. That's great.
We talked about it on Twitter, Tyler, but I think Burling probably had a lot to do with that. He's not exactly your possession out of the back center back.
Oh, you mean like O'Neal? Like what
Yeah,
we
exactly.
want, you know? Yeah.
Exact opposite player you have on the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that lineup was kind of head scratching.
No, it was very Pablo. I expected that. I mean, Powers on the right wing when he came in, second half. That's logic, right?
A
Speaking
rookie.
of Pablo,
Jesus.
do we want to talk about that mustache at all? Does anyone want to talk about that
I
mustache?
try to avoid it, but
Right
you
now.
can.
It's a new designated player. Tyler is very excited about. You haven't heard that.
I don't like you joking about that because that's a legitimate story.
I know.
We got an email from the
Your
board.
supporters group sent it out.
Yeah, saying some I don't want to go into it. It just hurts. It just hurts.
It's better than having a Formula F1 driver, quote unquote, trying out for your team as the new DP.
Well, maybe you guys can sign Falcao. He's not really getting much time in Manchester. Maybe he'll come to Colorado. I'm sure you can pay his like $400,000 wages.
Yeah, because I think our highest guy is like 4,500 right now. Per week.
That's probably Drew Moore, who's out injured.
No, I think it's Gabby Torres, who was a DP solely because of his transfer fee. Because they space it out over the term of the deal or whatever. But yeah.
Well, Matt, you have anything else to add to this game from your side? It was a pretty.
It was lackluster. I mean,
Lackluster,
I don't know why they went with a 4-4-2. And I'm sorry, I hate to be all dramatic here, but why they went with a 4-4-2 to open it when they were on a 4-2-3-1 all preseason, and it worked fantastically. Jim Curtin switches it up day one, puts DJ Sapong up front, and nothing happened until Madonna came in after halftime because they basically concussed Sapong to knock him out of the game. So hopefully we'll see more of that next week.
Sapong seems to get hurt a lot.
Yeah, apparently, but I mean, it was an inadvertent elbow in the box, so I mean, it's going to happen. But
Hashtag Rapid Thug Life.
Yep.
Tyler, you guys need to calm down.
No, hey, look, it's been gone for 2 seasons now. I'm glad it's back. I'm just glad it's back. If we're gonna watch something, let's watch them destroy other people. I'm okay with that. If they can't beat them in goals, let's beat them physically. Whatever.
Just lead the league in red cards.
Yeah, something. Well, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but we'll see.
I mean well, yeah. I guess we'll see how many. You guys are tied for the league lead with Reds now, right?
A lot of teams are.
One apiece. I think Matt turned into slideshow. He had Jim Curtin made him so angry. Switching formations, he couldn't deal with it.
He's like, sorry to get all dramatic, but here comes a slideshow, bitches.
Our friend Mark from Seattle, he is currently out with his wife tonight. He just sent in a tweet. Are you guys talking about how good Seattle is?
I just said not yet.
Yeah, we'll get to that one day.
Mark Kastner.
I didn't.
No. I know. Who was he talking about? I don't know who Seattle is.
Seattle played last, Mark. You need to calm down. We're going in order. It's only fair.
This guy and his homerism. Jeez.
This guy. All right. Now, moving on to the next game. I think the only game that an Eastern Conference team won against the West. I believe that's correct, yeah. Toronto. New look Toronto. Rob was probably peeing himself with excitement after Jovinko links up with Altidore for the first goal. Rob probably nearly had an aneurysm. And then the ghost of Robbie Finley apparently still lives. Found the score sheet as well. And then
I thought that was nice charity of them. But provide him a goal in his testimonial when you're 50. That's what happens.
It's weird to have a testimonial in the first game of the season.
NFL away.
Toronto does things.
And it was at Vancouver, one of their rivals.
Weird. It's weird, but that's just what they do.
Those crazy Canadians.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the sarcasm meter went off the trail on Twitter after he scored with all the World Cup 2018 roster tweets. It was like everyone was watching the Oscars again. That's how bad it was.
Robbie Finley made a World Cup roster. Let's let that sink in again for a minute.
I don't want to.
Give all of us hope.
I'm still shooting for Russia or Qatar in the winter. So and then Josie decided to just chip his penalty and do his derp face.
That was adorable, by the
And
way.
get flicked off. That was the image of the week. If you haven't seen Josie and the Vancouver fan flipping him off, it was
It's funny. I'm surprised they didn't sanction the Vancouver fan. And I've been told to get out of the stadium for less than that. It's bullshit.
well, some people
We are in America, okay? So
Oh,
maybe a middle finger in Canada means like, hey, nice goal, buddy, or something different.
that was swell.
We'll have to ask Rob.
Well, let's grab next time. Hey, good finish. Maybe that's what it means.
Actually, I am part Canadian, so I can confirm that's not true.
Dang. Well,
But if you want it to be true,
I guess not. So, it's one game. Obviously, we are going to make ridiculously rash overreactions, but
Oh, yeah, they're winning the MLS Cup.
Toronto's going to the final, right?
What would Roundtable be if we didn't? I mean, really, if we're not completely outlandish and just rash, then what is it for?
I mean, Toronto's going to just run away with the East and win the Supporter Shield, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, who's going to stop them?
serious.
The mapless Montreal?
David Villa and friends.
No, I don't think so. Wow, that was embarrassing. Their game.
We'll get to them in a minute.
I know. I'm sure Austin's jumping.
I think it said more about Toronto maybe than it did about Vancouver. I don't think Vancouver looked that bad. Maybe Kakuta, but we can't call him Kakuta Mane because the name on his jersey is Kakuta now, right? He had a pretty good game. So if him and Rivero can
If Rivero can stop missing from 3 yards out,
yeah,
kicking it backwards.
maybe those are rookie nerves, you know.
well, his goal was decent, to be fair.
Yeah, then he made up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But the miss was fucking awful. I mean, how do you miss that?
Yeah, I think that's literally the worst miss I've ever seen. I cannot tell you. Forlan, Manchester United.
He kicked it backwards. Like that's.
yeah,
He actually made contact.
I would beg to differ on that being the worst miss. That wasn't even the worst miss of the weekend. We'll get to that later. Dwyer,
He was inside the 6, dude. Inside the
Dwyer.
6.
What was worse than that?
Dwyer hit it though. He hit it wide.
Dwyer had 2 at least.
no, Dwyer's was saved.
By the way.
Oh, no.
I like that. You guys are forgetting Wando's miss against Belgium.
I just tried to block
I
that
think
from my
their
memory.
jersey's worse
Like
than
one of
Wando's,
those
to be
Black
honest.
Rays.
I've said it before on this show. Thibaut Courtois scared him.
Probably.
Yeah.
How could
Nothing scares me like a wacky inflatable arm flailing tube man.
he heard Vincent Kompany's footsteps?
Hey, that's my goalie style also. So.
I think that's how Tyler plays too. He just comes out and just waves his
Something
arms
like
at
that.
people.
Don't score, you're afraid, I promise.
So Toronto's winning the MLS Cup, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is- It's gonna be so it's so Toronto that they went to Vancouver, won that game. Everybody's hyped, and now they're gonna go get beaten by Columbus this weekend. 'Cause that's just what TFC does.
The thing I will say about Toronto is with Josie Altidore, he is much more confident just in that game than he has in the last couple of years in England. Otherwise, he would have taken that PK the way he did if
Oh yeah.
if he wasn't feeling it.
He wouldn't have
Cocky.
done that in a million years in England.
No.
He wouldn't have been on the field to take the penalty.
That's
Allowed to take the penalty.
no,
But,
I heard some comparisons about him and what it means to MLS and how shitty we are or our clubs are. I was like, yeah, but
Speak for
keep in
yourself.
mind, well, okay, fair enough. But Fernando Torres, right? He goes
Yeah.
to Atleti and scores, a couple of goals, and all of a sudden he's.
Well, and look at Mario Balotelli.
Yeah, you can't just judge it off of that. It's stupid. It's a
Yeah.
stupid comparison.
And Falcao.
Like all of a sudden, that means the league is weak because he scores twice. Nah, maybe he's just more comfortable.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or in Drogo's case,
Or actually
maybe
getting
because-
playing time.
Or
yeah,
that.
or that he was playing for Sunderland, who as of now nobody's scoring off that team. So
I was gonna say, is Sunderland have anyone as good as Jovinko?
Well, that's what I was going to
Yeah,
say.
what was
Jovinko
their
being on the
last-
field means
What
so
was their
much
last
for that.
season's highest score? 4, 5, 6 goals, I think.
What,
Yeah.
Sunderland? Yeah.
Was it
Yeah,
Barini? Did Barini have the highest
Wick-
goal scoring?
Wickham.
Javier Barini or
Their lead
Wickham?
scorer.
I think it
Johnson.
was Barini or something. Maybe it was one of the two, but
It was
It was Barini or Johnson. I can't remember.
so dumb. He had like 6 single-digit goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't think that's Josie being anemic in front of goal. It's probably
Josie I think had 2.
Service. It
So
came down to that the whole time.
So anyway, not to go back to EPL, but
Yeah.
it's interesting to see him come in and score two goals.
We let the guys with Blazers talk about the EPL.
they're
They do
off.
They
They're off
do it so well. Oh no! I thought they had Mix and his beautiful hair on the show.
Magic of the FA Cup.
Oh yes, but there was one game Sunday. Anyway, who cares? So yeah, Toronto have their long road streak to start the season because BMO's under construction. So
Okay.
we'll see how they do on their travels. They go to Columbus next in the
Trillium.
the greatest derby in MLS history, the Trillium
Trillium.
Cup.
Trillium
Weird
Cup.
name.
What is Trillium?
I don't
I
have
I should know this, but
It's a flower.
oh,
for real. They
They-
fight over a
Oh, somebody
flower.
knew.
Yeah, it's like the city flower or the state flower for both places.
mm.
So that's the origin.
Well, that's a lot more lame than I thought it would be. So that's cool.
Houston and Dallas play for a cannon.
Yeah.
But, hey! But what's his name? El Capitan is pretty good.
El Capitan, he fires off, and oh yeah, Trillium is a genus of perennial flowering plants.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Trillium, its scientific name, Trillium erectum. I'll leave it at that.
See,
So-
I know my MLS trivia.
Where is Rob when you need him? I mean, this is a show for Rob. What the hell?
And that just goes alongside their bird that flies around BMO named Bitchy.
What?
Yeah, they have a bird named Bitchy, or an owl or something. It keeps the birds off the field or something.
That's awesome.
Look it up. Look
I
it
thought
up.
you were talking
They
about the
use a
mascot. or
bird to
something.
keep. They use a bird to keep birds off the field.
Why can't they be American about it and have raccoons like everybody else?
Or people
That's just RFK. That's just
I was gonna
RFK.
say, or Southern America and just have shotguns.
Yeah.
Or like you do everywhere else and just put a fake owl on a perch and then everything just goes away because it's like a scarecrow.
Yeah, it's the old fake owl in the garden.
Maybe DQ United can transfer a few raccoons for Robbie Finlay and
Here
Where
is
would they go if they're not in RFK? I mean, really.
True.
they're homing
You're trying to
raccoons.
gentrify. You're trying to gentrify the raccoons, Philip.
Well, they'll probably come back to
Will it
RFK.
ever stop?
Here is from Toronto FC's official website, the BMO Field Guardian. The term "eyes like a hawk" has taken on a whole new meaning. Perched high above the west side sits Toronto's FC's guardian, Bitchy the Hawk, as named by the fans.
Great fans.
Bitchy protects BMO Field from seagulls. They're close to the lake.
Those dangerous seagulls.
You can't be having seagulls flying through games.
I think I know what TFC fan started that bitchy petition.
The TFC front office, like,
The same one who got Paul Mariner fired.
they're sitting there going through the votes.
It really is different in Canada than in the United States. Little figures, Bitchy the Hawk.
They're like, oh no, Bitchy's gonna win the name. We're gonna have to name it Bitchy. Oh no. All right, so back to MLS. Well, it's San Jose and Dallas, which I did not get to watch because I was at the game we're going to talk about next. But
Glad you hate Dallas, so it's fair.
I don't hate them. First off, Dallas doesn't have a team. They play in Frisco, so I mean, move your
Oh
state.
my lord. We play in Commerce City. Who cares? I say Denver. Who cares?
Frisco.
Frisco. Aren't they all connected really closely? I mean,
Sure.
I don't know.
Frisco's like a 30-minute drive from Dallas, but yeah,
That's
close
true.
enough.
You're right. I went
close
out to
enough.
the game last season.
On a toll road at that.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, I did watch the game. It was garbage for most of it, to be honest.
garbage until about 92nd minute
Even that was garbage. It was a shot
when
on goal that went wide, and it happened to hit Blas in the face and go in.
after San Jose's keeper just decided that he was going to come out.
I'm gonna run out there and hope for the best. No, he kicked it, and Blas clearly meant to head it, but it was like a shot that was, pretty well struck, and it went wide, and Blas was, oh fuck it, I'm gonna head this in. This is gonna be awesome.
Pulling his Beth Garrett Bale impersonation.
It was weird. I didn't like it.
I did not watch that game because I can't stand San Jose's broadcast team.
Oh lord.
So I watched Houston and Columbus.
Yeah, like most of America.
I hate it when it's in the home, like it's in Dallas, and that's the home team, but the San Jose crew
I don't.
on DirecTV or MLS Live.
Kevin Hartman was really good on calls last year. He was probably one of the best color guys in MLS, I thought. I really enjoyed his commentary, so I was really, really annoyed when it was San Jose's broadcast team.
Yeah,
anytime it's San Jose. Anytime San Jose's commentary. The worst. Sorry, Austin, I didn't mean to override with the
We
coach.
were like talking at the same time.
I had mixed feelings on that game. It was that, like you said, my love of Dallas and Dom Kinnear's first game after he bailed.
Oh, yeah.
I guess.
He bailed? Is that what happened?
Well,
I
he
don't
left.
know if he bailed. I think he went home. Much like Dallas stole Pareja. He just went home.
Okay, sure, he went home.
It hurts, but it's okay. I'm here
It's
for you,
okay.
buddy.
Transitioning to the next game, Sir Owen Coyle, and Sir Owen Coyle's debut. He's now been knighted. If you haven't heard,
I haven't.
Alex.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's undefeated in MLS. I don't know if you knew.
I did.
Never
Sadly,
lost.
because
never
Tyler
lost a
Derrick,
game.
right?
Well, yeah. Houston won, Columbus nil. Tyler Derrick probably one of the performances of the week. If you saw the game, he was just
Made the MLS
insane.
team.
Yeah, he was insane. A couple of those saves, I don't know how he was on the opposite side of where I sit in the second half, and he was just, I have no idea. Kamara should have probably had a hat trick.
That's like every game for Kamara ever in MLS, right? That he doesn't have a hat trick, it should have been a hat trick.
Well, true. And then somebody hit the crossbar from distance. Higuain, maybe? I can't remember who it was.
I didn't watch it, admittedly. I
You
know
missed
nothing
out.
about the game.
You
No, I
missed
don't think.
you missed out on MLS MVP Giles Barnes opening
What?
his account.
What color did Columbus wear? Black?
Black, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Because that would have been really confusing.
I think that's like the only time all season they'll wear their black because no one else is yellow.
Yes, we are.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, your Dayglow shit. That's
And
right.
we're Arsenal yellow now.
But if you play there, they'll probably wear their yellow, so you won't wear your robes.
Right, we're burgundy.
Yeah,
Which
and
is fine.
if they went there, you would be in your home anyway. So
Yeah.
fail. So anyway, yeah. Kofi Sarkodie got bloodied up. He was the first of a couple players this weekend to go with the no name, no number jersey. I think Lloyd Sam had it too.
What was
he
that? I
did.
saw that. What happened?
Sarkodie said he bled so much he went through 3 jerseys until they could stop his bleeding. He had blood on it. I talked to him after the game. He had blood on. He wore 2 pairs of shorts and 3 different jerseys so they could get it to stop. He was bleeding. quite a bit.
What the hell?
If you've seen there's a picture of him. I showed him in the locker room, and he actually tweeted it from his account. If you go look at his Twitter, he has blood, like his entire jersey's red instead of orange. But then he got bandaged up, put his no name, no jersey, no name, no number jersey on. Like literally 20 seconds later, he made a run down the right, crossed to Barnes, and that was the only goal. So
Yeah, it was a nice cross.
he said after the game, Sarkodie was being interviewed by everyone, and Beasley was yelling at him, Danny Alves. He was calling him Danny Alves. So I guess Kofi Sarkodie is going to be now the Danny Alves of MLS. But good win for Houston. I think a lot of people were didn't know what to expect with Coyle coming in, but they got.
Well, that's big for a West team because, like we've said, the West is going to pick off each other, so they're going to have to get points off the East teams to stay in that playoff hunt. So that's definitely a good win for them.
Yeah, especially a good East team like Columbus. A lot of people are picking to finish fairly high in the East. So, all right, last up on Saturday. Yeah, Portland RSL. Check out the second half of when I got home. If Derek wasn't the keeper of the week, it was probably Raimondo. Just doing Raimondo things, saving everyone.
He had a couple good ones. He always oversells his saves, by the way. If you ever watch him, he does it ridiculous amounts. It's insane. It's like, my God, that's the Steven Gerrard of goalkeepers. It's like every ball has to be this Hollywood ball. It can't just be a fucking pass.
I notice Raimondo often does the dive in place where he just like jumps.
Yeah. It's like, dude, you really, literally could have just stood there and ball. If it's too hard, maybe smack it away. But I don't know.
Then the MLS Twitter account wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
Raimondo.
Like Clint Irwin's. Clint Irwin's, I get. He's against a header that's from like 3 feet away, and he has to kind of jump just to get himself so he doesn't get caught. I get that. I get the idea. But Raimondo's like taking shots from 20 yards out, and he does it. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that's not necessary.
Just take a step.
This is clear Colorado RSL hate.
No. I'm serious. This is as a goalkeeper. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. Oh, I love Raimondo. He's a great goalkeeper. Fantastic. But he does oversell his moves, and it's insane.
Goalkeeper of the Year, Nick Raimondo, Goalkeeper of the Year award, as we discussed.
Yeah, he won't get it.
It will be one year.
But it will be named after him next year.
It will be named after him, although he'll never win it.
Leonardo DiCaprio of MLS.
They're both short. Isn't Leonardo short? I don't know.
I think he's going off of the no wins.
Yeah, there you go.
He has no Oscar win.
I got that.
Thank you.
I thought it was because they both like goats.
Yes, that was probably part of it. What? I don't even know where that was.
How do you know that they both like goats? What the hell? Is that on his
they
IMDb?
they both own goats.
Oh, goats.
Oh,
You heard Philip. Philip does his trivia. He knew what trillium was. Things.
We all have Google. Okay.
Does he win every argument ever now because he knew trillium?
Yes, pretty much. We just defer to him.
He's my basis for knowledge now.
And Mark's not here, but his favorite player, Darlington Nagbe, had a nice game.
He had a very good game, and I'll be the first to tell him that.
What did Mark call him last week?
I don't know.
Can't even remember. The God, Nagbe the God, or something.
The exalted Nagbe. I don't know what he called him.
Portland, Seattle hate.
Obviously, he's joking.
I mean, Wallace looked good for them too. If it wasn't for Raimondo's saves, he could have had a couple in the back of the net too.
Yeah, that's kind of like Portland's season last year in a nutshell. Like, even, I think, didn't they host Philadelphia last year the first game and ended up tying a game similar to that? I think they ended up, Portland scored late, it was like 1-1 or something, but it was the same kind of thing. They had a bunch of shots.
Yeah, like extra time.
Just couldn't break through. Yeah, and someone scored in extra time. That's kind of Portland's, they just can't find the breakthrough. I guess I don't know. They need Valeri back probably
Yeah.
more than anything. He's kind of their engine. I mean, he's probably one of the best players in the league, much less their engine. So we'll see. We'll see when he gets back. Apparently, didn't they say he was training or doing some jogging or something?
Well, I think I saw light work. He's probably a couple of weeks away from coming back.
Yeah, so
April.
got to get his fitness back and all that. So we'll see. I think they host LA. Yeah, they host LA on that Sunday night game, which will be interesting to see how that one goes.
It's always a fun one.
Yeah, Portland, LA, in front of the Timbers Army.
Never really, always a lot of goals, not a lot of defense going on.
Yeah, didn't they play like a 3-3 or 4-3 game last year? Or 4-4 even? It was something crazy.
Yeah, the past couple of years they've had those. Remember the game that Beckham scored that free kick? It was like 4-3 or something like that.
Yeah.
The final score.
Yeah, and they always seem to be on TV, on national TV when those two play. John Strong seems to call every one of their
games, whether it's home or national television.
Yes. Like, oh look, John Strong got another Portland game. John Strong's good though. I like him.
I do too.
What'd you guys think of Alexi doing play-by-play? I know he did a little like with the CONCACAF. I guess that was his warm-up. Yeah. But now
I'll be honest, I didn't watch the Seattle New England game. I recorded Rangers Blackhawks, and after the Red Bull game, that's what I watched. I couldn't bring myself to watch Seattle and or New England play because they're getting so much love after last season. I'm kind of bitter that they're getting all that love and the Red Bulls aren't right now. So I didn't want to watch it.
All right, well,
Mike over here being salty as fuck.
This is so much
Let
salt.
it go. It's all right. No big deal.
So much salt. All right, so
Red Bulls will come around, I'm sure. Someday.
So Sunday we had the long anticipated debut, and Austin was there.
Oh yeah.
So how was the Citrus Bowl for Orlando, New York City?
It was eventful, man. Like, I don't know. It was crazy. Like, I don't know. It's like
when Kaká scored that goal and people were like flying out of the stands. That was
it was nuts. Throwing shit and everything, man.
That was pretty crazy.
Now, I saw something on Twitter that said that they didn't check tickets for the supporter section, so there was double the capacity in there.
I was seeing that too. I mean, they closed it off after, they technically they didn't sell any tickets past 62,000, so that's how those extra got in there.
Well, they had standing room only, right? So I guess people decided to just. Most people were saying that they were like people were literally standing, like they were standing, and then people were standing on their seat.
He might have meant that they weren't checking tickets in those sections.
Yeah.
They were checking tickets, to get into the stadium.
I think that's what he meant. The supporter section. Yeah, the supporter section was.
Someone had said that so it was double capacity. The supporter section.
Yeah, the supporter section. They were just letting everyone in. I think they weren't checking tickets, so people were just slammed in there.
We're going to do that at the Rapids Terrace, by the way, but it won't have even close to capacity. So
all 30 of you will be.
Hey, there'll be like 500.
Oh, okay.
God.
Actually,
it was 1,000 members, but whatever.
It was pretty hectic, man. Like I stayed in the press box the whole time. I plan on going out and taking pictures next time and stuff and bringing my camera, but this time I didn't even bother with it. Way too many just crazy Floridians and man,
Floridians getting drunk.
Drunk ass people just falling after the game. At least 3 people on my way to the press conference just fell and just acted like they were dead. I'm all right, man. Like,
That's funny.
It's too much.
So
It's not working all that.
People do that in Florida? No.
No.
I can't believe that.
Florida is for retirement people and just people who want to party, young ass people who want to party all the time. That's what happens down here. It's horrible.
So the Norwegian Messi, as the Blazer guys call him, opened the scoring with a pretty nice goal, up for goal of the week.
Yeah, it was a good finish. I didn't. I guess
then-
it was okay before that. It kind of came out of nowhere. Like that was, I think that was their only shot.
It was their only shot.
Yeah.
On
And then
goal.
Aurelian Collin decided to do Aurelian Collin things and go in two-footed.
Who is this guy? I don't understand why he thinks he can get away with this. He does it all the time.
You saw
Because he
posted-
has in all his years in MLS, he's gotten away with tackles like that. He's only been yellow carded or no cards.
Sort of. I mean, he
That-
had many cards at the same time.
That was only his second red in the regular season.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, he has gotten like an outrageous number of red cards in the preseason, and I'm convinced it's only because he just wants to leave early. One game last year in Kansas City, he got a yellow in like the 31st minute, and then he got another yellow in the 32nd.
He pulled a Di Maria. Just grabbed the red.
Just wanting to beat traffic, I guess. Like just get the red.
Going back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know if that was a two-footed tackle. First of all, it was a bad tackle, dangerous red card.
It was bad.
He more swept with the back leg. He swept.
I think he swept, yeah.
Yeah, he kind of pulled
pulled
his second leg kind of under.
Oh, it didn't look vicious to me.
I did remark on the first time he fouled Davavia, and I said something like, "Well, it's clear Colin doesn't really care who you are, if you've been to a World Cup or whatever." And then that happened. Gee, I said something like, "It's nice to know that the guys making such amount aren't afraid to beat up on the guys making like 20 times more than that," or something like that. I forget the exact quote.
Well, he was never really like that with Henri. Maybe that was the French connection. He respected him as a countryman. Like, oh, okay,
But he's out there.
I like that he posted on Instagram that he's sorry he got the red, but he didn't think it was one. And
I mean, what's he gonna say? Yeah, that's a
good call, ref. Good call. I should have.
I'm not sold that he knows what a red card is. Like he just thinks all fouls are okay. It's like, whatever.
Well,
I would have loved to have seen him in 1970s England.
oh man.
he would have killed people, like literally.
Someone build a time machine and make this happen.
Somebody he would have Nigel de Jong'd someone in the chest at some point. Just
every week.
I like that he's over there just butchering people, and 3 of his teammates get booked for diving.
I think 2 of the 3 were probably warranted.
I don't think Shea's was a dive. He got hit.
Yeah.
He kind of fell. I don't think it was a penalty either. He kind of got tripped up and lost his balance.
I think he tried to maintain his balance. He couldn't, and he went down. I don't think he was looking.
I think
for
that's a no call.
the call.
And according to Orlando City's Twitter account, he was pushed pretty heavily in the back. So.
Yes, Andrew Jacobson.
Maybe he didn't deserve a yellow. I think I want to say it was Higuita and Brovsky fouled him. I think that was a pen, if I can recall correctly.
Yeah, he kind of slipped. I mean, it was dangerous sliding like he did. And I think that was the 3rd one, right? So the ref was probably very, had his eye on it.
I think New York City just got a card for Brovsky's stash. That's awful. I'm sorry.
Did I read right that there were like only 16 cards for simulation last year?
Yeah, it was
I
like
thought I saw it somewhere.
like in the last like 5 years, I don't think any game has had 2 cards for simulation, and this one had 3 for one team.
Yeah.
That should tell you they're trying to crack down. That's good.
It's probably, I was gonna say, it's probably one of the pros initiatives.
think,
Oh, yeah, they were saying that during the broadcast.
All the feedback. All of it.
Yeah.
I think the surprise of the game was probably Jason Hernandez at center back. Actually, I thought he was a incredibly solid.
Does someone have the video on the screen?
Look,
Yeah, he picked up a lot of.
look, hey, Austin, you got to turn down your radio if you're going to be on the show.
If somebody has the
I don't
the
know.
up, then- all right. Well,
Not,
we'll just,
it's not Mike. Everybody individually mute.
okay. I'm going to mute my
How do you
mic.
do that?
It's at the top.
Oh,
of
there
the
we go.
screen.
Are we all going to mute now just to test
What's
whose
happening?
fault this is?
So it's Dustin.
It's Dustin.
It's probably me.
Yeah, it's you. Weirdo.
Okay, hold on. All right.
I'm in the cave right now.
Oh well. Okay, we'll just wrap this up anyway. We'll skip ahead. Skipping ahead. Seattle 3-0.
Oh.
They're really good. We'll come back to you.
No, we don't need to talk about that game.
No, that's it. Good night, everybody. Let's not even talk about it.
We'll come back to you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw it since Mark wants to know. Seattle's really good. Dempsey and Martin are really good.
We saw Nova flip or whatever.
New England misses Jermaine Jones and the rest of their guys that were out. Win. I forgot MVP candidate Lee Win.
Yeah, win. You know,
Yeah.
No big deal. Just some guy.
From the highlights, it doesn't look like Andrew Farrell is going to be good against the cream of the crop in central defense. That might be a problem for the Revs.
well, first game against two of the more potent attacking duos out there. It's not Dustin, obviously. Wow, holy cow.
I'm not sure how much I can judge New England after that game. And
Oh no!
missing two key players.
I just he maybe he has to get used to the position, but he looked more flat-footed than Roy Miller.
Oh, I agree with you. He didn't play well, but you know.
All right. So can't judge much on that. Philip, Mike, 1-1 New York, Kansas City. Matt Beasler.
Meanders.
Card things. New York couldn't take advantage of it. Mike, was that 3 points dropped?
I think Marsh struck 3 points for them because they looked okay the first few minutes after Beasler's got sent off, and then he took off Felipe and put a bong on, or a bang, whatever his name is, and they did not have the same midfield cohesion, even though they're new. He really brought the level of the midfield down, and Kleshin needs to know what kind of power to put into the ball because he underhit at least 50% of his passes.
Philip,
Sam goal, man.
Sam's goal was nice.
It was delicious.
Probably the goal of the week for me.
Chopping up.
Thank.
Philip, good draw after Beasler's red.
I think a draw was fair. Even before the red, both teams had their chances, and yeah, Dwyer. I said this.
Sidney LaRue would have scored.
But shots like that is what's keeping Dwyer from being at the top of the heap in MLS. He's a great goal scorer. He's a great player. He's missing that finishing ability, and on nights like that night, it's painfully obvious. He had a few nights like that last year. His big thing was, and this is like that in a few games last year, when he was one-on-one with the keeper, he always kicked it right to the keeper. It's like he never knew like how to chip or try to make any move. It's just blast it right at the keeper, and if it bounces off him, so be it.
Will Bruin's like that.
Yeah, and
I've even heard him interviewed. He says like when he gets one-on-one or when he's close, that's when he thinks too much.
yeah. So
The guys do.
it's mental things like that that's keeping him back. But he's still
I'm
young,
the same
so
way.
I'm not really.
I panic. Like, God damn it, what's happening here?
So he's young, so I'm not really gonna put that on him. But yeah, I like some of the things that were out there. I liked how the new guys play.
I liked Nemeth. Nemeth, what's his name?
Nemeth, yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Opar coming back. I thought he didn't skip a beat.
Filled in for Colin nicely.
Yeah.
I think Opar is really gonna come out of his box, if you will, this year. I think he could be getting U.S. national team praise.
I always rated Opar pretty highly. I thought he could be. He wasn't too far behind Colin and Beasler. He could have fit in there and be a great starter.
Yeah, he probably would have started on most teams.
He hurt last year, and that threw everything out. But he's a very solid player now, behind Opar and Beasler. That's a question mark in terms of who's going to be back there. But as long as they're
we'll see this weekend with Beasler suspended.
Yeah. And Failhaber is. What's that?
How long is Ellis out for?
I don't know, to be honest.
Maybe they'll, I don't know. Maybe they'll use one of their seven defensive midfielders.
I'm not really too confident in Ellis or Eric Palmer-Brown.
I think Ellis and Anibaba can fill in really well.
Yeah, Anibaba. Ellis, I just think he can be great in moments, but there's just a moment per game where you're just not confident at all in him.
I think that could have been just last year too. I mean, that was his rookie year, right? Was that his second year?
He is 2021. He's pretty young too. So.
He's like 20, yeah.
I think he'll grow out of that too. I really like Ellis, but yeah, I mean, I think you could definitely still see that this year.
Yeah.
All right, so that's week 1, all wrapped up. All 20 teams played. Chivas had a bye this week.
They're ranked 21.
I think they have a bye next week as well.
The Rebels have a bye next week.
So do we.
So does DC, I think. And
we have 20 teams in the league. Why do we have any buys anymore? Why can't we just have off for the Gold Cup? I don't understand that. Have the 3 or 4 weeks off for the Gold Cup. Why do you have buys?
DC and Montreal get them because of Champions League, but I don't know why Colorado and New York are off.
Because you need 2 teams.
I guess. Whatever.
But you have 9. But you have even number of teams.
Oh yeah,
so
that's true. I don't know.
The Dynamo play it. If you wanna people make fun of BBVA Compass Stadium not being full. Wait till Friday night, 6 p.m. local time, when the Dynamo play Orlando. It's going to be empty.
I see.
Friday night. Well, it's going to be on TV.
LA looked pretty empty, actually. For Sunday afternoon, for like the first half, LA looked actually, or not Sunday afternoon, Friday night. They looked pretty empty also, LA.
Yeah, people were tweeting about traffic and blah, blah, blah. It's going to be the same thing in Houston. People are either... Yeah.
I was going to say, I think it's going to be a lot of the Friday games maybe, because they're early. You're going to see a lot of attendance drop off for that.
Yeah, and I don't know why they're playing at 7 Eastern, which is 4 Pacific. That doesn't seem like a great time for national TV, especially Orlando being one of the marquee teams now. No one on the West Coast is really going to be able to see it. Maybe the second half, but well, that's the new TV deal. I'm sure there's a Liga MX game or something after it, so they had to put it early.
Possibly, yeah.
I'm assuming. All right, so we'll wrap the show up. I'm gonna go left to right on my screen. Any lasting thoughts, Austin?
Actually, I wanted to say something about the Red Bulls and intertwine it with both cities. I said the Red Bulls would not make the playoffs if I were to judge after week 1, despite Kansas City having a red card, I would say Red Bulls will make the playoffs, and I was not actually impressed with Orlando or New York, and I know that was the first game, but I think the things I was worried about kind of came true, and if that reoccurs throughout the season, both teams are going to have problems.
There you go. Mike, any last words for you?
I thought Zubar and Perenelle did actually pretty well. The goal came from Perenelle going out wide and Miller going inside and just watching the ball go by practically. So that's more on Miller than on Zubar. Anytime your center back and fullback get switched, sometimes it's always dangerous. But hopefully Zubar got taken out, supposed because of an injury. There wasn't really any word from Marsh otherwise. So if that's the case, hopefully it's something light and he's back against DC. Because Miazga did not look good for the time that he was in there. And it stunk they had to make a defensive sub when they were up a man.
Yeah. Matt, you got any first show? Any famous last words? Is it all that you thought it would be?
Famous last words. It was fantastic. No, thanks for having me. Next week's going to be a better week for the Union, except that it'll be another scoreless draw against RSL. So, hey, points are points, right?
It's true.
You guys are going to have, 38, 36 points?
Any points you steal from RSL are great points to me, my friend.
There you go.
36 is total.
Yeah, well,
It'll be
you got
a
goals.
new Chicago Fire. I'm hoping.
You got goals to shoot for. Philip, anything? Philip, star of last week's show with his Wizards jersey.
Yeah, I actually did get a Wizards home '97 jersey, the black. So
Nice.
Right.
I think. Well, I'll just promote the MLS title belt game. Portland versus LA, 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports
Who
1.
holds the belt?
Another title. Cosmo, the Galaxy mascot, had their own version of the belt.
He did have the belt last game. He's bought.
Yeah, so
If he has to give it to Timber Joey, Timber Joey might take it.
Is Timber Joey their mascot? Is that the deal?
Sure.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
I think so.
He just cuts wood cookies. Who gives a shit? Like what? Okay, well,
Well,
good on you, bro.
All right.
Yard
Tyler?
work that I need done.
Tyler, is that your last words? Do you have
I
anything else?
would like a wood cookie. I don't know why I don't have one yet.
We'll see what we can do. Tyler wants a wood cookie. Anyone up in Portland can make that happen.
Yeah, just a small one. That's no big deal. Just a
Just
small
ship
wood
it.
cookie.
He'll send you his address and send it over.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything. I mean, my team doesn't play this week. They didn't play particularly well this past week. They're not going to play particularly well the rest of the season under the current management. So,
It's a lot of roses and going on in Colorado. Very exciting. But you guys have the All-Star game to look forward to.
yeah, that's true. You know what I hear? I hear we're getting Everton. It was supposed to be Barcelona.
I heard Barcelona a little.
Barcelona couldn't come to terms, so now apparently the fallback is
It's Everton.
Apparently.
wow, way to go from one end to the other.
But don't tell anybody. It's supposed to be secret.
From Messi to Romelu Lukaku.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
From
Colorado this
Neymar,
year.
from
I'm
Neymar
super,
to
I'm super
Kevin
excited.
Morales.
and a 14th place EPL team that's just barely above the water for relegation.
But Timmy Howard will be there. All right. Well,
He's not benched.
Yeah,
Big market team. What?
Yeah. That's what you gotta do when you go to Denver.
How we do?
All right.
We should play them instead.
I don't have much. I don't think. I'll be at the game Friday against Orlando. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'll have extremely exciting insight to the game. I'll try to talk to Kaká and see if he'll talk to me. We'll become best friends. We'll follow each other on Twitter.
Have him come on the show.
probably be Facebook friends. I'll get him on the show at one point. His English is pretty good, so he'll love the banter, I'm sure. All right, so thanks for everyone that watched. Thanks for everyone listening. If you're watching it, this will be up on iTunes sometime tomorrow. Thanks to all the guys. Talk to y'all next week. See ya.
Okay.
Oh.